This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hey, good morning. Welcome on into the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Again, I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thanks for coming on. It is Friday. Great day. I always love Fridays, especially on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. End of the work week here for us. End of the, work week for me, but end of the week for you. You still got a weekend to enjoy for heading on back to work, most likely, for early next week, which is going to be much colder than what it's been here over the past couple of days. Take that into account when you're planning your attire heading into next work week as well. So, yeah. Hey, it's been a nice stretch of warm days here for us around the Arklatex. Much warmer air already settling in again here for the day today. This is pretty much day 5 of day 7 or day 5 of 7 days where we have almost a warm retreat. You know how like you take a retreat, get your mind off things, get your mind off work, school, just kind of be out in the wild. Sometimes you do this for religion. Sometimes you just do it for yourself and your own character, so to speak. I mean, that's obviously the reason you go on vacation. I feel like this is like one of those, a retreat back to, maybe not summer. It's not that hot by any means, but a retreat back to more comfortable temperatures. What kind of more of a September, October feel, certainly October feel, is for us. But now it's just trickled into late December. And it's not going to last, though. Our main story of our full weather forecast here for you moving on forward is a cold front that's going to bring in colder air for us next week. That's all on our whole local forecast here for you ahead. And also because it's Friday, we go over the full regional weekend forecast. For those of you traveling, maybe you're outside of the Arklatex looking to come back into the region here, back to the house sometime here over the weekend, and you're wondering what the weather here is here, or you're wondering what the weather is going to be traveling back to the Arklatex. So again, we will have your full regional forecast, which goes over places like Dallas, New Orleans, Little Rock, Jackson, those kind of areas. What are the forecasts in those spots here for this coming weekend? Meanwhile, that is all after a full look at your local forecast. For those of you just tuning in for the very first time, even if you're maybe tuning in from out of town, that'd be cool. For those of you coming in from Ruston for Louisiana Tech, or from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for Coastal Carolina, and for the Independence Bowl game. Yes, we do have a forecast for that coming on up, which mainly revolves around the major cool down next week after very warm days ahead here in the short term. So let's get into the full local forecast here for you. All right, here's a live look into Texarkana. We already have sunshine out, which means we are going to be warming up here very quickly. In fact, I think we're going to be warming up more than that of yesterday. Remember, we had cloud cover still around here this time, and essentially the later the cloud cover from the morning hours goes, the cooler off it'll be through the day today. But now that we've gotten the sun up and going, oh, man, those temperatures can pick up a lot here, especially now that the sun is up and at them across Texarkana. And that's going to lead us into what we would call a very hot, honestly, a hot December day. The same thing is going into Bossier, good amount of sunshine. That's still filled with a little bit of cloud cover, but the more and more the day carries on, the less and less cloud cover we're going to have to provide us with pockets of shade here from the intense warmth. I wouldn't call today a hot day. It's not summer by any means, but still a very surprising day where we could break record highs here for late December. It's kind of wild to think about as you're strutting out and around town with just T-shirt and shorts here for today and the weekend. So, all right, let's get into what's going on here with the full forecast here for you, beyond just our webcams. There we go. Was a live look into Bossier. Next up, your what to wear forecast. Again, you were just hanging out in T-shirt and shorts, and it's warmer than 70 degrees. Not going to lie, this graphic was not updated in the last hour, so we'll take a look at those current temperatures here in just a second. But these are our main weather headlines moving on into the next several days. Next 3 days, that's pretty much how much longer we hang tight to the same temperatures, same conditions as well. Cloudy mornings, sunny afternoons on repeat. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, similar to how it's been since Monday. We've been stuck underneath the same conditions day in, day out since Monday. And again, essentially that carries on for 3 more days before Storms come on Sunday. They're going to happen late on Sunday. We're talking mainly Sunday night, it looks like at this time and place. That'll bring in much colder air for next week. So that's going to be the big game changer. We want to really keep you first alert about that. Current temps already up into the mid-70s. It's 10:30. We're just starting to get going, and we're already in the mid-70s, especially across Shreveport and Mansfield, and a little bit in Natchitoches, too. Essentially, the more the sunshine gets in here, the more we can warm up. So I would probably expect temperatures to, yes, be in the 80s here for the day today. All right, so everything, again, revolves around our next weather maker, which hits on Sunday night. Here it is here for you. Next cold front giving us a round of storms, but thankfully not containing much of a severe weather threat. So essentially the storms aren't providing us with, they won't look too impressive, so to speak. Meanwhile, the cool down will be impressive. That's going to be the main part of this entire line coming on through the region here for you. So, again, it's still a round of storms at least. There are some cold fronts that don't even provide any wet weather. This one will look to do at least that, but just no severe weather is hopefully expected from this round of storms coming on through. All right, so we'll go over storms later, but let's talk temperatures first and foremost. What's been happening since Monday and still continuously for the next 3 days is this high-pressure system stuck in place. Just so you know, this is something that usually happens in summer. You remember when we have those like long stretches of summer days where we don't have any bits of rainfall and it's immensely hot? That's pretty much what we have in place here. This usually never happens during winter. This kind of a system setting up. This usually never happens. That's why it's impressive. That's why we have record highs. It's getting us as warm as we could get with sustained dry conditions, sunshine, and no shipments of cold air coming in here. If anything, our wind into the Arklatex is coming continuously out of the south and west. So not only is the sunshine warming us up, we're getting continuous warmer winds out of the south and west, which is really ramping up in the temperatures, again, in and day out, as long as this continues to stay parked on top of us. All of the wet weather, if you've seen the national weather headlines, all the wet weather has been stuck in California. That's why they've had all those flash flood warnings out near there, because we've got a low-pressure system up into the Pacific Northwest that's continuing to dump all this rain just stuck here as long as this stays still, which is still going to happen at least for the next 3 days before this system finally starts moving, which will provide us with a chance of rain and provide us with also cooler temperatures on the way, too. Knocking in backdoor winds out of the north, which, again, get colder winds out of Canada for you there. All right, so high-pressure system, again, dominating. Sinking air, what we call sinking air, that results in sunshine. You need intense rising air to force rain because our immediate response is to basically excuse me, I'm getting way off track here. What happens with rising air, just for a quick science lesson here, if you get that with a good amount of moisture off of the surface, that goes all the way up, forms the cloud cover that you have from intense rising air, and then that helps the rain to quickly fall as a result. But if you have sinking air, we don't have rain going. If we have sinking air, essentially, we have just a good amount of sunshine and blue skies because, again, clouds only form as a result of rising air, pushing rain particles up really rapidly and them cooling off really quickly as they rise up in the atmosphere to form and condense and form clouds. So that's what we have, just a quick science lesson. Not only does it form sunshine, but also warm temperatures here for us as well. That's in the case of today, definitely. These are your highs. 83 today in Texarkana, 83 in New Boston, 83 in Doddridge. Very impressive for late December. 81 for Longview, 80 in Carthage. If anything, maybe just slightly cooler around the southern edge of the Arklatex, but I still would not be surprised to see many areas reaching the lower 80s for today. That's today. Then our cold front swings on through on Sunday. So again, Saturday and Sunday's highs are pretty similar around that mark as well. Next 3 days, again, nothing really changes too much in terms of both the temperatures and the weather conditions out and about. Then we get to highs on Monday. Those will be knocked down into the 40s. Again, very impressive. We're going into upper 70s, lower 80s, down to these 40s here, almost within a day here pretty much, which is, again, very impressive for a cold front to do. Not only are our afternoon temperatures cooling off, but so are our mornings. Remember, our mornings have been muggy. You've been able to walk out with T-shirt and shorts just in the morning hours. That's going to be no more. We have our next kind of Arctic shipment of air coming back in here. This is coming in for Tuesday morning. I know it says coming soon. This is for Tuesday morning. Lows getting down into the 20s, below freezing. I think Monday morning a little bit on the chillier end, but this is really when that cold air is going to start to get packing in here. And these will be similar to your morning temperatures, I believe, for Wednesday morning too, before those start to warm up a little bit more into the first morning of 2026, which is on Thursday. Future track for you. So now to go over the exact timing of the storms. As I said earlier, everything remains the same with the conditions. Cloudy mornings, sunny afternoons. You'll see that on loop there in the Saturday and Sunday. A lot more sunshine coming out this afternoon. Then comes back cloud cover in the overnight hours, leading us to another cloudy Saturday morning here for you. Once we get to lunchtime, that's when we start to bring the sun back out. And by the afternoon, plenty of sunshine right around sunset time. Sunday, we're doing the same thing. Cloud cover back before you get the point. This is the loop. Before the round of storms finally comes on in. Again, this happens Sunday night. This is Sunday afternoon, and still the storms are really nowhere to be seen until you look off into Oklahoma, where the storms really start to form. But again, they're forming around just off to our northwest corner of our region around 7, 8 o'clock. And not really coming in until late. Look at this. We'll track up the line of storms. So, again, this is going to enter the Arctic out of the north and west, hitting our areas north of I-30 towards like 10 p.m. Again, late at night. Then this is rolling into the overnight hours. Midnight looks like it's going through. I'm going to take the timing exactly, but essentially midnight. This is going right through the central portion of the Arctic, hitting Shreveport maybe around 2, 3 in the morning. This might lead us, I will say, into a little bit of a rainy commute. Even then, this future track trekking onto maybe the tiniest possibility, believe it or not, of some freezing rain, believe it or not, just in the northern edge of the Arctic. I'm expecting pretty much rain from the 99% of the region here from the system. I shouldn't be seeing any winter precip at all. But yeah, this will be coming through for late Sunday and maybe trickling into your Monday morning commute as well. And in fact, there probably will be to some regard, because I think there'll still be some wet roadways still around for your morning commute there. So taking a look on this long-range future track there, that storm, and this future track kind of gives us a different possibility where storms could come in as early as 5 p.m., and then we could have the bulk of the storms coming through more towards like 10, 11 p.m. through the central portion of the Arctic, and then it's just gone by Monday morning. So it goes to show you that the models aren't entirely in agreement with the exact timing of everything coming on through, but just keep in mind that Sunday during the day, you should be fine. All those plans are good. Just watch out maybe starting Sunday evening, and then it could roll even into areas of the Arctic still here for Monday early morning, especially if you've got an early morning commute for you then. All right, so beyond that, though, I mean, look, Monday, Tuesday, next week, lots of sunshine coming on through. That rain chance on Sunday is our only rain chance that we have across our next 7 days, believe it or not. So just watch out for that again, late on Sunday, heading into early Monday. So for your full weekend forecast, still incredibly warm, not just today here for Friday, but also into Saturday and Sunday. It's been 7 straight days of way more average, or way higher than average temperatures than what we see around here. Just bonkers to me how we reach near record highs and literally day in and day out through Sunday. Then our cold front comes through. We want to give you the full forecast to our Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, which is on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Again, cold front swings in on Sunday night and especially settles in cold air in here for Monday and Tuesday. Here's your forecast for Tuesday. So it's going to be a sweater weather kind of a game. This is not going to be a warm game at all, but it's not going to be a frigid one either. I mean, we get highs still working up to nearly 50 degrees by the end of the game. I think the game time itself, temperatures will be in the 40s. So, again, it'll be sweater weather during the game, especially if you're going to it, but not heavy coat weather per se. But I will say, if you are tailgating that morning, it will be heavy coat weather because you're waking up to temperatures, especially if you're getting earlier there than 10 a.m., temperatures are probably going to be right around the freezing mark. So it's going to be chilly, but steadily warming with a good amount of sunshine there through the day today. And most importantly, no rain issues for the game itself on your Tuesday. Then for New Year's Eve, the next day, on that Wednesday night, temperatures just trying to warm up. I have noticed a little bit of a warming trend once we get into Wednesday on New Year's Day, after the peak of that cold air is especially going to be in there for Monday through Wednesday morning. I think highs could reach 60 or even just above 60 on New Year's Eve. I kept things a little conservative in the upper 50s, though, with that forecast around 4 p.m. Temperatures are still going to cool off. But I don't think it's going to be very cold around midnight, but I think it still will be a good bit chilly in the temperatures in the low to mid 40s. So essentially almost the same temperatures what we have for Independence game. So definitely still sweater weather and warmer than our overnights have been over the past several days. But, again, not the most cold, so to speak, heading into Wednesday of next week. And that'll be the case heading into New Year's Day, highs in the mid-60s. I've even seen some few models even trying to get back in some lower 70s back by the time we get into Thursday and Friday of next week. But I'm not expecting a whole long warm stretch like what we've just embarked on over the past several days and are still on through Sunday. I think there's somewhere is going to be another round of storms maybe hitting next weekend, the weekend after this weekend. Even though, yes, we technically do have a round of storms hitting late Sunday and early Monday for you on that 7-day forecast that knocks down that high temperature of 77, yes, down to 44 in just a day. A flip of a switch. I didn't mean to do that. I actually meant to do this, so you didn't see my face at all, so you can see the full 7-day forecast. Temperatures not only getting down to the upper 40s and lower 50s for highs, but also the morning lows really getting down. Again, we've had consistent mornings in the 60s. That continues as well into Saturday and Sunday morning before it really starts to drop on Monday morning and really settles in here with some Arctic cold temperatures there for your Tuesday and Wednesday morning. All right, so that was a look at your full Arklatex forecast here locally, but we have another forecast to go over. We got to go over your regional weekend forecast for those of you traveling outside the Arklatex. That forecast will be up right after a quick commercial break after these messages. Welcome back. Welcome back to the First Story Weather Breakdown. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason, again here in our podcast desk. Let's go over your regional travel forecast for exclusive content here for the day today. And it's going to be an intriguing weekend because, again, locally in the Arklatex, what we know, again, is that cold front is coming through on Sunday night, late night here into the Arklatex. So let's see if it's affecting anybody else maybe closer and earlier on into the weekend, so to speak. Besides that, I should see a good amount of sunshine here around most areas regionally across the Arklatex. Because as we talked about earlier, that dome of high pressures, which has been giving us incredibly warm temperatures here in the Arklatex, is also doing the same thing pretty much everywhere else around here, too. You're not escaping it. That was the point of Christmas. You'd have to go way, way up north to get anywhere close to a white Christmas at all. But that seems to be the case for everywhere regionally around here. So let's take a look at our IR satellite picture, which is looking mostly clear. We've had a good amount of morning cloud covers. We have had day in, day out, a little bit of fog in some areas as well, especially for those of you that have been closer to the coast towards Houston and New Orleans as well, with a good amount of southerly flow. Now we're just getting winds out of the southwest, which is just keeping us immensely warm, but also clearing up the clouds to help the sun help warm us up, essentially. We got systems way off to our northeast, and we got systems way off to our west if you're traveling like way outside of the country here right now. The western states have been filled with a good amount of rain, especially towards California over the past couple days. A lot of that has also been in the northeast. The point of me saying this as well is that none of that has touched anywhere around the southeast at all. We've been bone dry here for a while until this next cold front comes on by, which is on the west coast, and it's finally going to start to get moving actually onshore and affect us a little bit closer into days past today in just a little bit. But you can see on the first alert Doppler radar, I mean, there has not been a single drop anywhere around here. If you're traveling I-20, I-10, I-40, I-30, it's been pretty good around the central and southern portions of the United States, period. So let's go over the future track because, again, that cold front is going to be something to track here in the days ahead and see when that's going to be coming on. So, again, for Saturday morning, watch this surge of cloud cover. It's coming off, again, the coastline, affecting areas like Houston, New Orleans, Shreveport, Jackson, with a good amount of cloud cover here for the morning hours. Maybe not as far north as Little Rock, but we'll see. Point is, cloudy morning, sunny afternoon. That's still the case here for tomorrow, pretty much everywhere regionally around the Arklatex. So at least for the rest of Friday, it's looking good here for the day today regionally. Same thing goes for Saturday. Then all eyes are going to be on the tail end of the weekend here for Sunday, especially if you're traveling on Sunday. And watch out for, I guess, a little bit of rain. It's starting to show up that you see there, a little bit around Missouri, a little bit in northern Arkansas during the day on Sunday, and then eventually it comes down and forms the full line that could stretch as far south as Dallas. But we have a little bit of a marginal severe weather risk, believe it or not in the Arklatex, but in the states to our north, up towards northern Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, with the same cold front that's going to be hitting us in the Arklatex. It's giving us a little more chances of severe storms further up to our north. But the point is, we got the storm line going through Arkansas, Shreveport, Arklatex, and Dallas, essentially. Your north and west sections of the region are getting hit by it Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. But if you're coming over from like Jackson and New Orleans on Sunday night, I think you'll be fine as long as you get there to the Arklatex, certainly maybe before like 9, 10 p.m., because that's when the storms will definitely be hitting the Arklatex again, late on Sunday into early Monday. So to put it into a little more text form here for you, current conditions out right now, good amount of cloud cover across the whole region except for Dallas. Temperatures all around in the 70s here regionally. Highs today, 80s, especially in for Dallas. My goodness. Yeah, Dallas is expected to be even warmer than the Arklatex is. But besides that, most of the temperatures elsewhere around the 70s. Still mid to upper 70s, which is impressive enough for everybody for late December standards. Then we get into Saturday. It's more of the same carbon copy. Upper 70s for highs, lower 80s into Dallas and Houston once more. But it looks like, again, everything changes on that last day on Sunday, where we could get a little chances of some storms working into Little Rock and Dallas, especially in the afternoon hours after definitely dry mornings. It gets a little bit cooler into those areas, just a little bit. Highs only in the upper 70s for Dallas on Sunday. But then again, you see the warmth into other areas like Monroe, Jackson, Houston getting up into the lower 80s in for Sunday. But I really think everybody makes that turnover into cold weather Monday and Tuesday of next week, with more rain filing into the rest of the region, more towards like New Orleans, southern Louisiana, and Mississippi, out with that cold front on Monday. Definitely during the day. So the point is, most of the rain stays, it looks like, out of the weekend here for most areas around us, which is good news, especially for travel-wise. But if you are trying to come here on Sunday, just make sure you get here before the late night hours, because then you might be dealing with rain. Especially if you're coming from Dallas and Little Rock, which might deal with the rain a little bit earlier than we will, in the afternoon hours itself. All right, that was a full look at your regional forecast. That's all I got for you on this work week. Thanks for joining the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I always appreciate you guys for coming on. Always, each and every day. Even if it's just one of you. I just love talking. Just love yapping about weather. It's my job. It's what I do. It's who I be. Thanks for coming on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. We got another full week of episodes again here next week. same time, same place, Monday. I will see you again on Monday. I will be the host for Monday's episode again. For those of you who have missed CJ all week long, he was enjoying Christmas at his own place. Or I should say his own parents' house where he grew up back in Maryland. So he had a really fun week. He'll be back in town literally this weekend. He'll be on the weekend shows for you, back on air tomorrow on Saturday. And then he'll be back on the podcast late next week. We're kind of swapping up how we work next week out, because I will be out off work, period, for New Year's, which will be on Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday's episodes of next week will be hosted by CJ. I will host Monday through Wednesday. Got a lot of good content coming up for you, especially surrounding the Independence Bowl next Tuesday. And we're going to be talking all about New Year's as well, heading into Wednesday and Thursday as well. Lots of holidays to go over, lots of important events to go over. And, of course, they all have forecasts for them all. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomas, and thanks for coming this whole week on the First Start with a Breakdown. Or if you just came today, hey, if you watched one episode, I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative of everybody and everything. Trust me. Anyways, you have a good one. I'll see you again Monday, 10:30, same time, same place. Be there, be square, most importantly, stay weather wear. Have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy it. See ya.